Good afternoon. It is 2 o'clock Central Standard Time, April 15th. Thursday afternoon. After a morning pop, from what I've noticed, it's a bit of a chop fest. And now we're just waiting to see what happens into the close. Yep, I had everything muted. I was getting a quick bite to eat. Been running around crazy all day. And then now now we're live with y'all. Definitely good to be here. Hopefully we can make some money in the last hour of the day if the opportunity presents itself. All right, so let's dig into the charts here. On the daily chart here, I've got my new Momo indicator that I've been using, momentum indicator. I've got my 8, my 21, and then on separate charts, which you can't see, I've got my RSI, my MACD. As soon as I can get my computer to unfreeze. All right, I've got the zoomed out view here. As you can see, the volume has been decreasing throughout the day, getting lower and lower. Right now, currently, you've got the 8 MA is just riding right on top of the 21. Once again, seems to be a pretty common theme. The price just bounces right off the 21 on that 5-minute chart. So just remember that going forward. You know, just watch that. You zoom out to that 5-minute chart, throw up the 21 and the 8 EMA, and watch it because it's been bouncing right off of it. It seems to be all 2 weeks. Just use that as a concrete floor. It's definitely good to be back. Appreciate it. It's been a very crazy week. Very, very busy. It's been lucky I've even been able to throw a few trades in the market this week. Excuse me while I get settled. Just digging in here. All right, so we're currently sitting at 415.35 and change. We're sitting right at 1%. All the market is green. Amazon's up, about 1%. Tesla is up barely. Oh, no, they're up 0.75, so good amount. Everything's up. All the FANG is up pretty well. Microsoft, Facebook, Google, Netflix, all up over 1.5%. Things are rolling pretty well. Anticipation of those earnings, especially with the good retail numbers today. The money is churning into the market. All right, here on the 5-minute chart, I've got the RSI currently neutral, sitting at 51. Interesting, MACD has been downtrending all day, currently under the signal line. Well above VWAP, and then, of course, we're just bouncing right off that 21 all day, using 21 as support all day long. Little upwards momentum here, upward chop. I don't see anything too exciting going down just yet. We got, 50 minutes left in the market? Once I saw those numbers with retail, I was predicting 216 today. Or, I'm sorry, 416. We almost got there, 21 cents off. Now that y'all have got me, if you got any questions, concerns, stick them up in the YouTube live chat room, Discord, or you can DM me directly. Looks like somebody wants to see my setup for the squeeze momentum. I'll bring that up here. And those are my links here for the squeeze momentum. Yes, I am. A.N. Kremlin. Are you watching SPY Only Gang in Discord? Yep. I'm currently bringing it up right now. Acting a little skittish on me. All right, looks like the 8 is coming back down to the 21. Let's see if it holds again. Got a little bit of red candle forming on the 5-minute. Yep, I feel you. I feel you. And my Discord just decided to do an update, my Discord app, so bear with me. Got some downward pressure building on the Momo chart here, so I'm going to switch over to the 15. How would I play this morning? Somebody asked in the Discord room. Well, let's go take a look at it. Let's look at it together. Well, the 8 never even touched. On the 5-minute chart, the 8 never even came close to touching the 21 all day. Right here, we had the crossover with the positive momentum. So, you want to start looking at a position. Once I start seeing this turn green, and I see this very bullish momentum, I'll probably be looking to take a position right in this area. So the fact that the 8 was just completely bouncing right off the 20, or not even coming close to the 21, that's a very bullish indicator for me. So I probably would have taken a position right about here. Closing the position, when this thing starts to turn dark green, pressure starts to roll over, and I start to see the 8 rolling back down. I probably would have given back some profit here. Most likely would have closed when I saw this big red candle start to form right about here. So whatever that profit would have been, I can go back and look at the premium and see kind of about what the profit would have been. But watch list is green. Any chance for a rebound before close? It's SPY. I think we all know that this thing can do crazy stuff. I don't like to predict, especially in these times. If we're in a trend, that's one thing. But where can I find that squeeze Momo indicator? This one is on TrendView or Trading View. So if you go up, I believe if you're watching the screen, you go up to indicators. If I remember, this is where you come up here and you can put in the. Oh yeah. Yeah, right there. So just put in start squeezing indicator, and you can put in the lazy berry one. That's the one I loaded. And then I put in the parameters. If you're not using TradingView, I would Google just whatever your platform is. There's a whole bunch of literature on it. I did a couple of hours worth of reading on this thing a couple of days ago. Big old red candle forming on the 5-minute. Downward pressure building. 8 crossing through the 21. Am I thinking puts now? the chart is telling me right now we're having a bearish sentiment, but you never know how temporary this is. Like, I don't want to get smashed in the face with a climb into close because it seems to be a pretty common theme. Watch list is bright green. Just Joe asked, why does volume determine the DTE that OM is deciding between today? The volume doesn't necessarily determine my DTE. My testing my system throughout the past few months determined my DTE. DTE stands for days for expiration. So when I started building the system, I experimented with, deltas and the premiums, the cost of the premiums, the volatility, all that stuff. And with my risk tolerance, the shorted DTEs was it was too much movement too quickly. If a trade went against me, it went against me very, very quickly. The other way around, if I did a month out DTE, which, I did trade a lot of later DTEs. I'd buy them, hold them for a month, and I did very well with that. I mean, when I was trading Apple, I did very well with long-term Apple DTEs, longer options. Amazon, Boeing, I did very well with those. And the time will come for me to do very well with those again with SPY once I have confidence back in the market. In fact, once this market rolls over finally and we come back down to 400 or 395 or whatever it is, and then we reverse back up, I'll probably do some longer DTEs and hold those overnight when the time allows. I just wanted to see some normalcy come back in the market. So anyway, to answer your question, I arrived at my DT because through testing my system, it worked for me. Are these my only indicators? These are some of my main ones, and I'm incorporating the squeeze momentum. This is a new one for me, and I love it because I wanted a volume-based momentum indicator, and this is one that really works. I really like it. It's new. It may end up not liking it, but as of now, I like what I'm reading. I like the people that are using it, and it's working for me so far. And you could thank Luca for that. He turned this on to me, and I started reading about it. I was like, hey, I'm going to try it out, see what it works. And like I said earlier in the Discord about an hour ago, I said there's some very, very smart people in this room, and they have both said volume is a very, very key indicator of where the price is going to go. In addition to the three you see on TradingView, I also have I also use RSI. I use MACD. MACD is probably my least favorite of all of my indicators because it's lagging. It's great if you're going to use longer time frame, but to me it's lagging. So it's it just gives me a good indication. It gives me confidence in a trade pretty much after I take it or as I'm about to take it, if I see it trending one way or the other. Higher level stuff, I use the 100 and the 200 because it does like to come down and bounce the 200 or the 100 sometimes. And then I've got a VWAP, of course. VWAP, which I've said before, once the morning hour leaves, the first hour of the day, like VWAP pretty much drops out of my cross check because it kind of forms this peanut butter spread flat line because the once more volume comes in there, it averages out and becomes a non-factor unless you have large price movements. In fact, on the 5 minute here, we actually came down and touched VWAP here for a split second before bouncing back up because we had a few large red candles. What's interesting here is that we did gap up from the morning, 411.87 all the way up to 413. That kind of that gave me a little bit of an anxiety today because you never know when that's going to drop back down to fill that gap. But RSI is forming lower highs. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. 5 minute chart. The RSI has, no, sorry. let's see, we peaked this morning about 80, 81, and then we peaked again in mid-afternoon till 73, and now we are peaking somewhere around the 57, 58 range. So it is forming lower highs. I'm going to zoom out to the 3-month chart. So you can see I do have the Fibonacci up there. This is the Fibonacci retracement tool. Which, before, you can kind of see when the price was here, I had it on here a couple of days ago. You see it formed support right on this level right here, which is very telling. Bounced right off, and now we're blowing through the top, of course. So a 50% retracement here would put this level right at 400. It's interesting enough because we have two gaps hovering right at 400. There's one at 402.96, and there's one at 396 and change. So if we do get a pullback, I fully expect this thing to come down and touch 400 when the time comes and fill those gaps. Anyway, in the 3-month chart here, the squeeze momentum is very much bullish, very much in a buy position. RSI is it's currently 67 and trending back up. We were high. We were at 75, which is extremely high in the 3-month chart, and then we dipped back down a little bit yesterday, and now we're back up to 74 and change, 73 and change. What's up, Daddy Cam? Do I always use Fibonacci in the longer time frames? I do. 1 to 3 months is what I use it at, and then of course you get the longer time frames. But I always update the Fibonacci every time we have a trend reversal. So, which usually on the 3-month chart is fantastic. It points everything out to the T, and I can go back and look. And every time there's a trend reversal, the price always comes back down to the 50. So that's why I've always used it for the 3 months. It's a great, and once again, like the Fibonacci is not necessarily an indicator because it's not going to tell you what to do, but it tells you in the event that things happen and the I guess the prospect of the market going one way or the other, and when it does go that way, what level it's going to go to. Chewbacca says, I feel like I picked a weird week to start options trading. The past 2 weeks have been difficult. It's been a difficult week. February and March was cake. The past 2 weeks has been, like I said in the video this morning, it's like, I think, by the way, I love the name, Chewbacca. It's awesome. What I said in the video this morning, that even the most bullish of people right now are hoping for a pullback. They're wishing for a pullback. Because we need some healthy price action to come back into the market. This top everyday all-time high, blasting the top off every day, it's just not healthy. So, yeah, it is a weird week, especially for me. So I'm definitely ready for some healthy pullbacks and ready for this market to come back down so we can start resetting. What level are you looking at to confirm a breakdown? A little more specific. What do you think? Clarify your question, please, so I can answer it properly. Are you going to add more indicator education videos to Discord? Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I'm trying to, dealing with my wife's birthday this week, and then everything I've got going on, and then flying, of course, and then, yeah, it's been a busy week, so I'm trying to tie it all together and keep you all happy, and But yes, that is a priority. Watch the rug, Spy. Thanks, Holt. I know what y'all are thinking out there. I know what some of y'all are thinking out there. The forbidden P word. But I could practically hear every one of y'all thinking that. For your daily puts calls for SPY options, or you mostly use a daily chart for in and outs? Right now, yes. Once I start holding stuff overnight, I'll use a little bit longer time frame. I'll go out to the weekly and go out to the 3-month chart. But right now, I'm pretty much strictly sticking to the day and 5 day. I'll go out to the monthly just to kind of just to keep on. I want like market awareness. I want to be very much aware of where the market is right now at all times. And if it does reverse that, I want to be ready for it. So the 3-month never leaves my cross check, but in terms of decision when I'm going to make a trade and at a certain minute, I use the 5 and 15 minute. All right, a QQQ is also on the downtrend. The Dow's got a massive green candle on the 5 minute and another red candle right on top of that. Interesting. Let's see what Daddy SPY is doing. The SPX, also the same thing, mimicking SPY. All right, so pretty much for the first time of the day, SPY has popped through the 21 on the 5 minute chart. And I'm curious to see what's going on from here. All right, here's a test of VWAP on the 5 minute. Let's see what happens. MACD is looking very bearish on the 5 minute chart. RSI is declining. Do I ever make shorts or collect premiums? I don't. It's not something I've ever dabbled into, although I'm open to it in the future, especially with as much knowledge as I'm learning in this room. I started out just a stock trader, and I started out long-term holds, 3 to 6 month holds, and then I kind of, as I got more experience, I started trimming that back down. When I started out, I was super risky. I lost my butt, and then when I got back in the market, I said I was going to be super conservative. So then I started doing long-term holds, very, very conservative plays. And then as I got more comfortable and started making money, I started dabbling a little more with shorter time frames, like weeklies, monthlies, and then started doing some day trading. And of course, here I am, 8 years later. So I never dabbled into that stuff, which, in the world of my career, I'm still a new options trader. Like, it's been relatively, I didn't start trading options until a year, 2 years ago. It's always been stock trading. And then of course, 2020 is when I really did well with the whole Corona market, because I knew, that huge dip in March, that was going to be bought up instantly. So I put everything I had back into the market because I was doing real estate. And then of course, all that, Tesla, Amazon, Apple, it went crazy. And then here we are. So long story short is that this system, I built this system for simplicity because I hate sitting in front of the computer all day going through 100 charts, and I wanted something simple, and this is where I am now. So, answer your question, no. Cade says I emptied my bank account in college to buy 1 share of Amazon 5 years ago. It's a fantastic idea. It's paid off well. Interested in learning ever more ever since. You're doing something great. I promise you it'll change your life. You learn how to do this the right way, the smart way, it'll change your life. I wish I would have stuck with this back when I was right in college or 18 years old. Looking bearish on the 15-minute, on the 5-minute chart. We got VWAP, man. Let's hold up at VWAP. Let's see. What brought you into SPY trading then? It sounds like you made some smart tech calls. I did. I've always been a fan of Tesla. I'm not Tesla. I've always been a fan of Amazon, and I've always been a fan of Apple. Those two things I just thought they were never going to go away, especially Amazon. So I've always held on to them. I've always traded into that on my entire career on long-term holds. And then, of course, we all know what happened in 2020 with all three of those stocks. And then I dabbled in and out of Tesla. And then when I started rebounding hard, because I think last February it was something like $70 a share or something crazy like that. And then I remember getting in sometime late spring when the price started increasing a lot. And I got in, I knew what they were doing. And then, we all know what happened. And then my sentiment on Tesla flipped in late November, early December. And then of course in December, they announced the S&P inclusion, then they went up. When they hit about 650 is when I started okay, it can't go up anymore. This is absolutely ridiculous. And that's when my sentiment turned on Tesla. And of course it went up to 900. But, I can't really complain. I did well. Clean bounce right off the VWAP. Apple to 125 calls, good. Yeah, I made great money trading Apple calls, long-term Apple calls. I remember back in the fall, I bought April Apple calls, and I went down 30% on them. I was holding them long-term, and then, over the course of 2 weeks, I was up over 100% on those things because Apple decided to go nuts in the fall. It was awesome. I bought Apple and Amazon back in 2009. Wow, that's a heck of a hold, and a heck of a gain. All right, clean bounce right off the VWAP and a big old green candle right on the 5 and the 1. Wow. Amazon was $96, man. 2008, 2009 era, man. I wish that's right when I was graduating college. I wish that I had the foresight to put some money in Amazon and in Bitcoin, because Bitcoin was I think under a penny back in 2008 and started out 0.001 cent or something like that. Just take $1,000 and buy Bitcoin. Do you have any thoughts on PLT? That's Palantir, right? Yeah, it looks too volatile for option trading. Man, those meme stocks that were pushed by Reddit, I'm hesitant on those. Is Palantir a good company? Absolutely. You know, they're very well. They have a very strong presence in the military community. I know exactly what they do. But in terms of a stock and the way they trade, it is a little volatile. It is a little volatile. Oh, please don't withdraw from your 401k to trade. Please don't. It's a terrible move. This is not financial advice, but that's a terrible move. I have not many plays this week. No, over today. I mean, this is not a fun chart to trade. Like this whole sideways chop on unpredictability. It's not a fun chart to trade. In order to be profitable, you have to sit here all day and make sure everything's going right. It's just not something I enjoy doing. So I'm kind of waiting for the trend to break. Like I'm waiting for this thing to pop and go back down to 400 so I could just make bank, which like just exactly what it did in March. So that is why I'm not trading too much during the week now. I mean, even now on blowout earnings, this thing's only up 0.9%, or blowout retail numbers, this thing's only up 0.9%. Whereas in March, like we were doing $8 to $10 swings up and down. I think Bitcoin was a big miss for pretty much everybody, Eddie, not just you. If you would have told somebody back in 2008 that Bitcoin would be over $60,000, then they would probably say you're crazy. All right, see if we test the 8 EMA. I bet you could go back and smack your 13-year-old self for sure. I mean, there's stories of a guy like paying for a large pizza with like 5,000 Bitcoins or something like that back in the day. And now like the pizza cost him like $200 million. Testing the 8. So far, snooze fest of a last hour of the day, but we'll see. Low volume. I'm going to say volume is irrelevant. No, I think volume is the most relevant. I think the lack of volume or lack thereof is very telling of the market environment. What happens when you have a very strong bull rally on very little volume? Bum, 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 bum. Bueller. Yeah, zoom out to the 3-month chart and do the same thing. If you zoom out to the 3-month chart and look at the volume, every time you got those green candles start to diminish, you have some sort of drop. The drop varies in length, or in magnitude, but there's always a drop. And right now, volume is diminishing. Rightfully so. I mean, we're reaching the point of exhaustion here. Getting a little volume injected back into the day here. 5-minute chart. MACD is starting to increase to the north side. RSI is climbing. But that candle just got sold off. Let's see. Wicked out completely. And on the 5-minute chart, the 8 EMA is coming across over. $59 million in puts. Very nice, very nice. That's the biggest discrepancy I've seen in about a week. So before, because tomorrow is obviously options expiration day is the 16th. Before you go jumping into puts, I should say, ask yourself the question, why? What justification do you have that SPY is going to fall tomorrow? If you can come up with a good reason, then do your thing. Other than the reason of, well, I think it's high and I think it's going to go down and I feel this. Remember rule number 10. SPY doesn't care what you feel. SPY is not Dr. Phil. SPY will eat your lunch. Take your lunch money. Going for new all-time highs. Do it, SPY. Bounced right off that VWAP and went honey badger. Watch, 416, watch this, watch this. There's the volume, big old spike in volume, pushes it right up. Now climbing to 416. Here it comes. Here it comes. There it is, 416. $416 and climbing. Another rocket into close. Oh, it happens just about every day. I think it's happened every day except twice in the past week, 2 weeks. Those rockets right into close. Crazy stuff, crazy stuff. Still 11 minutes left. A lot can happen in the last 11 minutes. Still plenty of time on the clock. I guarantee you SPY is not going to take a knee and run out the clock. It's going for another touchdown, baby. Hail Mary. Do I have any confidence in, I'm assuming 428, 420 calls? No. No. I would not hold a call into next week. That's long-term data like that. Because the second you get a downturn, you're going to get destroyed. Yeah, I was in and out most of the day today. I'm just watching now to kind of set up for tomorrow. Interesting tidbit to note. I'm doing a little clicking and just doing some analysis on here on the 3-month chart. Actually, going back to the 1-year chart. As of yesterday, SPY has now reached 15% above its 200 moving average. That is egregiously extended. Actually, it's probably, I'm just looking back now. Standby 1. So 252. So the last time it was this far extended from the 2M at 200 MA was January of 2018. It was actually 16% extended from the 200 MA on the year chart. And then watch what happened. If you have your charts handy, go look what happened in February of 2018. I'm not even going to tell you. I won't spoil it. I won't even bring it up on my chart that I'm live streaming. Go take a look. That'll give you a little practice into chart manipulation. Go out to the 1 year chart. Go back to January of 2018. January 29th to be exact. And then look what happened in February after it was 16% extended from the 200. Again, I won't bring up the second time it happened would be in February of last year, but that doesn't count because we had a extenuating circumstance with Corona. That wasn't necessarily a natural phenomenon, but the natural market phenomenon. Just let me know what y'all find. Look at January of 2018. And then look what happens in February of 2018. And as of right now, as of yesterday, we were sitting at a 15% extension from the 200. And today we hit 15.9%, so almost 16%. Nope, I mean 2018. Because the market rallied just like this, just as aggressively. From January, January 1st or December, hold on, the first green candle was hit market lows on the 1229. First green candle was on January 2nd, and then the market raged the entire month, just green. And then it peaked on January 26th. And then look what happened in February. And it was 15% extended from the 200. If you want to look at the future, look at the past, do some historical chart analysis and figure out what happens when the market reaches similar market conditions. Granted, we are in unsimilar times. We have crazy amount of federal asset purchasing. We have crazy amount of, infrastructure stimulus, and then of course stimulus packages being injected into the market. But history never lies. Boom. That doesn't mean go out and buy puts. I'm not saying that. Don't hear what I'm not saying. I'm not saying go out and buy puts. I'm just saying be aware that we are on unprecedented times. We are in very extended. And also a good lesson in how to use your indicators. This is why I put the 200 on my charts, because I don't use 200 for daily trading. I use it for market sentiment. I use it for a snapshot of what the market could do at any moment. I'll go back to saying, if you're going to buy April 28th 420 calls, be willing to take some risk and do not use a big position size, because if this thing does decide to downturn and you're already $4 outside the money right now, you're going to get destroyed. And you're putting at such a historic level that the thought of being able to recoup that money after a downturn, it's just never going to happen. Savings Dummy said, I don't know anything about charting, but I have a 5 years pitch fan. As of April 9th, we were outside the top. Well, go learn about it. Go Google pitch fan indicators, read about it, and figure out what that means. It's a good thing to do. I'll cheat. Yep, there's January. All right, now do February. I actually like to see that. A good visual indicator. Ooh, pharma stocks. Man, that's where I started my career in trading. Pharma. I do not miss it. Lucas asks, how did you check how overextended SPY is from the 200? I mean, I've got my 200 indicator, and I just did the math with a calculator. I took what the 200 is and calculated the extension beyond where we're at now. Came up with 15.9% from today's highs. Yeah. You want to talk about news sensitive, man. You can wake up. I mean, I did. I woke up to a very significant loss in pharma stocks because it's so newsworthy, so news sensitive. FDA comes out and says, nope, we don't like your drug. You can kiss your money goodbye. The market will tank before you have a chance to get out. Pre-market. Market is now closed. We close at 415.90, all-time highs. 1.08% north. Gain of $4.45 from yesterday's close. It's been fun. It's been great. Enjoyed having this last hour with you. Had no interest in trading any of that. I'm just kind of lost interest in trading this chart, honestly. I'm just waiting for this downturn. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Not holding any positions right now. We are currently 16% extended from the 200. RSI on the 3-month chart is currently at 74. But there's no signs of slowing down. Not yet. Every time you think it's going to top, it smiles at you, keeps on climbing. So anyway, it's been fun today. I'm going to go out and do some things with the video. I'm going to try to put together a script to make some education videos. If there's anything particular you want me to talk about, anything you want me to see, please post it in the OM questions only room or throw me a DM, and I'll start churning out some education videos for you all to watch. That's really tailored to our system. There's a billion education videos on YouTube. There's a billion videos out there on Google. I know that. I'm going to do some videos that's tailored to what we talk about, what I talk about in the Discord, so you can kind of get a handle on our terminology and just come together as a cohesive unit. So when we learn together, we're going to grow together, and we're going to make more money together. My goal is to have that profit room in the Discord churning and burning with some profit screenshots from every single one of y'all. I don't care if it's $10. I don't care if it's $100,000. I want profits. Anyway, it's been fun. This is Options Millionaire, OM. It's currently 3 o'clock Central Standard Time, 4 o'clock Eastern Time, and I'll be back tomorrow. Y'all take it easy. So, yeah.